So, are ATOS trying to put words in your mouth at these independent assessments? In today's video we're going to be talking about my personal independence payment assessment I had today. First of all, the assessment didn't go too well. I mean, the assessor for one from ATOS, which I put there in the corner, there, she basically tried to put words in my mouth, I feel. I went to a building in Hounslow West and it was like a big office complex. They obviously rent a room out. When I got there, first of all, I got into the reception. They said you have to go to the third floor. Then I got to the third floor and the person up there said no, you'll go back downstairs. Then I went back downstairs, back to the reception, and the reception person, desk person, directed us to the room which was near the outside, on the outside of the building, as is the best I can describe it. Where a member of the team that were helping me met me where she was waiting outside. I'm glad that she went along with me for reasons I'll explain in a minute. A woman came out of the assessment room. The assessor came out, fair enough. Took my ID, had a little chat with my person who was supporting me from the organisation that has supported me through this PIP assessment. I went in, I sat down. The woman sort of explained that she was independent from the DWP. If you don't know what it means, the Department for Work and Pensions, and that she's there to help me or help assess my condition for the DWP, Department for Work and Pensions. Fair enough, I sat down, but I'd never looked at her once. Never make that mistake, don't even look at the assessors. So I didn't look at her once. I sat down and facing the door the whole time throughout the assessment. And that is key. And she said before she started, I am the independent assessor. I am doing the assessment today on behalf of DWP for my personal independence payment. I'm going to ask you some health related questions. We quote those words, health related questions about your condition. So fair enough. The first question she asked me was, how good am I at making budgeting decisions? I said, I don't do that. Other people around me help me with sort of paying my bills and stuff. She okay, and then she went on to another question, which was, how good am I at bathing myself? I said, I don't use the bath that often, simply because I can't. And she said, explain. I tried to explain. I couldn't, saying that I couldn't explain, so the person I was with stepped in and explained that I attended a special needs school and that she needs to explain things more because my brain don't develop in the way hers or the assessor's brain worked, you know, in the development side of things. She explained that I went to a special needs school. The assessor didn't seem to be that bothered about it, to tell you the truth. She was more trying to put words in my mouth, I found. She was trying to get me to say stuff that weren't necessarily true. She asked me, how do I pay my rent? I said I'll pay it by a rent payment card. do you use direct debits? I said, I don't use direct debits, never have done. I don't even know what they are. So fair enough. And then she went on to the same question again, repeated herself again. I said, I've already answered that question, so I cannot answer it because I've already told you what the answer is to that question. She went, fair enough. Then she went on to making a journey by yourself. I said, I can't make journeys by myself, not places that I don't know, because if I get lost, I get irritated and I start breaking things and destroying things because I get agitated if I go anywhere by myself. And then she tried to put words, it went back to the same question again, trying to put words in my mouth. Then the person I was with stepped in and helped me out a little bit and explained how my condition was again, and at this point she gave her a copy of my medical records, from the symptom sheet we get from your doctor. She gave the assessor a copy of that. She didn't seem to be that bothered. Personally, I don't think that she was a proper GP, that she specialised in people who suffer with learning disabilities like myself. That is my opinion that I got off the person, that she had no expertise with disabled people who suffers with a condition I suffer with, schizophrenia being one of them. Then she said, okay, who helps you in your everyday care? I explained, or it was explained to her by the person I was with, that my mum and family people around me help me with everyday tasks and things like that. That was all explained to her in an out and out way without going into too much depth and detail about that. Then she said, again, how do you pay your rent? And I said, I told you this already, by direct debit. How do you know how much to pay? Because you need to know how much to pay when you're paying your rent. I explained to her, shops I go to know exactly the amount I pay when I do my rent and pay my council tax and pay my top up on my electric and gas. They know already. I explained that to her, but she didn't seem to be that bothered about that. And then she tried putting words in my mouth again. It felt like it was more like an interrogation, I would explain, is the best way. So the assessor was interrogating me at this point and making me feel very anxious and very uneasy about being in that room with her. And my hands started to shake at this point, and I was getting very uneasy about being in there because she was winding me up. I felt like jumping over the table and boffing her way in the mouth, but I didn't do that. But that's what I felt like doing. And then she said, what was the other question? How do you manage your medication? I explained to her my mum reminds me how to take it and I have to take stuff, and what dosage to take and bits and pieces like that. Who attends my GP appointments with me? I explained my mum or a friend goes with me. How do I get the assessment? A friend drove me there in a car, which I explained to her. She went, okay. Can you put your hands behind your back? That was right, the assessment. Raise your legs in the air, up and down, which I did, but my walking isn't in question because I weren't claiming for my walking, so that wasn't part of the assessment. So I thought, because I was not claiming for, I can't walk, I'm not going to claim that I'm in a wheelchair when I'm not, so that weren't in question. Then she asked me, can I walk for at least 15 minutes? I said, I'll walk for less than that and then I have to stop. Yeah, but can you walk for 15 to 25 minutes? I said, I just told you I can walk for less than that, then I have to stop. Yeah, but can you walk for 15 to 25 minutes? I said, look, I just told you I don't time myself when I'm walking, but I can walk, but for less than that. I don't have a stopwatch in my hand when I'm walking down the road. She didn't seem to be that bothered about that. She then ended the assessment at this point, but it felt like that she was trying to put words in my mouth, I won't know the full outcome to the assessment until the Department for Work and Pensions, people who deal with the PIP decisions, the assessment team, or whatever they want to call themselves, have made their decision through her report. So I've got to see if I can get a copy of her report so I can see what she said about me as well. But I did explain to her I can't read, I'm dyslexic, I've got learning disabilities, and she didn't seem to have a clue what I was on about. She seemed to want to put things what she wanted me to put. She was trying to put words in my mouth. The person from ATOS was trying to put words in my mouth, making me feel very uneasy and very anxious. I wanted to jump over the table and bump her one in the mouth. My hands were shaking at this point. I hardly couldn't think straight. My head was pounding like a drum. I had to get out of that room. It was a really bad interrogation, as is what the best I can explain it. It was an interrogation. It was like being interrogated by the CIA. You will talk, or a big light over the top of you and blinding you so you can't see. It was really bad. It was the worst assessment I've ever gone for, and it was just for personal independence payment. And it made me feel very anxious and very uneasy, if it sounds silly to you, but it's the truth. It was very unhinging. I'll make a full video on it, a feature-length video on this at another date, but it's my experiences. The assessor trying to put words in my mouth. Anyway, I'm going to end it here because I'll be rambling on for ages otherwise. But yeah, remember the assessor will try and put words in your mouth and try to get you to say things. So remember, don't make eye contact with these people when you're in there, and they're not trying to help you, they're trying to get your money stopped. And David Cameron is the cause, and that Mr. Prick Osborne, who was in charge of the Treasury at the time. They need to change this PIP system. They're making it difficult and very uneasy for disabled people like myself. And the assessors at ATOS are trying to put words in your mouth. Anyway, I'm going to end this here because it's winding me up even thinking about it. But yeah, remember, don't let ATOS put words in your mouth. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'm too upset about this. I'll speak to you about my result when I get it through the post. Cheers for watching. Bye.